My name is DeSean. I'm currently a Smart Recovery Facilitator. I started doing Smart Recovery 4 years ago. I've been a facilitator now for 3.5 years. I currently work with youth and teens running a teen Smart Recovery meeting. I was laying in an emergency room withdrawing from heroin, and I felt like death. They had me on a gurney in the hallway, and I was given no comfort meds. At my side was my mother, who never left my side. She looked at me and she said that if you walk out of that door, you can forget about me. And I was so tired that I couldn't even leave, and I stayed. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I was brought upstairs and brought into a detox at the Faulkner Hospital. I met this amazing caseworker who came to me, and she said to me, "You're a treatment all-star. You've been in and out of treatment, and I think you need to try something different." I was sent to an outpatient program, which was 5 days a week. And one of the big things they did there was REBT, and they were a huge supporter of Smart Recovery. And one day during the group, I was in the corner, sunglasses on, feet up, half asleep, and I heard somebody talk, and they said, if you have a higher power, great, but if you don't, you can still get sober. And I sat on the edge of my seat, eyes open, and I listened intently, and it was what I needed. I had always been so good about being a part of the group, which other programs really do. They bring you into the group. I didn't really have an identity. I didn't know who I was. And the more I learned about Smart Recovery, it was more about building up my self-esteem, building up me as a person. The tools were able for me to touch. They were concrete. I could touch them, I could do them, I could feel them. You know, so many times I went to groups where I heard about the tools, but I couldn't tell you what a tool was. And here, I got to touch it, I got to do it, I got to practice it. One of the best things for me in early recovery was the urge log. Something I promote so much as a facilitator, but they have this urge log in the Smart Recovery Handbook, and you write down the date, the time, where you were at, who was with you, and those things really helped me see that it wasn't people, places, and things. It was the emotions that I had behind those people, places, and things. And it really allowed me to develop as a person. Smart Recovery told me I wasn't just an addict. I was a lot more than an addict. There was way more to me. And I shouldn't define myself as that. You know, you call yourself a loser enough, you're gonna be a loser. I didn't see a lot of facilitators that looked like me, and I didn't see a lot of meetings in my neighborhood. Most of the meetings I had to go to were 35, 45 minutes away, and I said to myself, out of all the treatment facilities I've been to, I'm going to go into every treatment facility I can and let somebody know about this program, because I had never heard about it. And I made it my mission. I became a facilitator. I started Smart Recovery Commitments, and I went in and I motivated and inspired people in my community to want to take the training, to want to learn more about a program that actually helped and made a difference in my life. I learned that there was so much misconceptions about Smart Recovery that people didn't really understand it, and they just misjudged it because they thought it was a program that allowed you to use in safety, that taught you how to moderate. They didn't get it. And I realized by me educating and me speaking about my experience and speaking about what Smart Recovery did for me, I was able to reach a lot of people. I had a guy who came to my meeting, and he said, you know, I would love to do this, but I don't think I'm good at it, you know? Like, I want to volunteer, I want to do something, I want to do something more with Smart. He's like, I love Smart, but we don't have anything for us to do. So, you know, like, if you go to him, you can be a coffee maker or a greeter. And I sat to him and I said, don't you think you should do something more than hug people or make coffee? Isn't there something greater for you? And I explained to him how taking the training not only allowed me to do meetings, but inspired me to grow as a person. And that Smart Recovery was one of those things where they said, if you want to be a part of the group, you can be a part of the group, but learn who you are first. Now that you know who you are, you can become a way better facilitator, and you get the tools to do that. Smart Recovery has allowed me to make an impact on people that I never thought I could. I use a lot of my Smart Recovery in my coaching. I coach football, and a lot of the things and the way that I interact with the kids, it's all smart recovery based. The kids, I say all the time, 90%, and they say mental. 90% mental. And there's things that I take from that that really allows me to be a better person, a better coach, a better brother, a better son. And I don't think I would have been able to do that if it wasn't for smart recovery, and even more the facilitator's training. Facilitator's training taught me more than what I had learned coming to the groups when it comes to managing people. I always said I always knew how to be a leader, but I didn't know how to be a leader in a positive way. People always were attracted to me. They liked being around me. They were motivated to be around me, but it was never positive. After taking that facilitator's training, I've been able to be a positive leader and a positive role model. And I said my meetings are so successful because I'm my most authentic self. I share a part of me every time I do a meeting. And sharing that part of me allows everyone else around me to be vulnerable. And I think that's the biggest thing I've gotten. You know, being able to be vulnerable, being able to be your most authentic self is the way that meetings thrive, is what makes meetings, is what makes people want to come back. They build a connection and a bond with the facilitator. And I let people know that being a facilitator is one of the most rewarding things you could ever do. It's something that pays off when you see people doing successful things, people coming to you and saying, I want to start a meeting. I already have the space. I just need material. And it's rewarding. You're like, wow, you went out, you got this space, you contacted the hospital, you contacted this, and you put this together, and that's a great feeling. And I think eventually it comes a point in your time in smart recovery where you have to take that next step. And being a volunteer, being a facilitator, whether you're a host or a facilitator, is a great step.